Hey, I'm Pete Holman, inventor of the Escape Barrow, and if you're watching this video, congratulations, because you are the proud owner of the world's first ever loaded carry sled push combo machine. Now that you have the machine in your possession, let's take a look at how to put it together in this quick assembly tutorial. Alright, the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure you've got your packing slip and your bill of lading slip. Just keep those for your records, so hang on to those, and then go ahead and get the packaging material off of the boxes. Once you've got that off, make sure you've got a nice clear workspace. I like to have space and cleanliness as I'm working on setting this unit up. Start to unpackage the boxes, and then the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take out the wheels. Got the wheels and the handlebars or the handle grips in one box, so you're going to get those out, and then you're going to find your toolkit. Make sure you have your toolkit, which is in the main box, and then we're going to start unassembling this box and getting all the parts and pieces laid out in front of us. Once you have all the parts and pieces laid out, it should look something like this. Take an X-Acto knife and open up the flaps on the toolkit so that you have some working compartments that will maintain the bolts in their positions, but also help you organize all your tools. Next, you're going to locate your assembly instructions, and you've got two instructions. One is a product list and the other is the actual instructions. There's all your products that are on the list, and then you've got your instruction manual. And we're going to start with the ski runners. The ski runners have two parts. They have a skid plate and a Delron or nylon undersurface. So you're going to turn the ski runner upside down. You're going to turn the Delron or the nylon skid plate upside down, and you've got 8 bolts on here. Now take a look at the surfaces. You can tell if they're on right because there's a beveled edge on the end of the skid plate and the nylon runner, and those should be congruent. You've got 8 bolts, and you're going to go ahead and secure all 8 bolts in to the 8 holes, and you've got your runners assembled. Now let's connect the runners to the actual legs of the frame. We're going to use 4 bolts here to do this. You've got a tapered bolt head, you notice that, and then you've got to make sure you have a nut for the end of each bolt. You also need to have a flat washer and a locking washer. Those are critical, and that's how we're going to assemble them. The ski runners go on like this. It's a common mistake for people to install the runners backwards, where the runner sticks out towards the back of the barrow. You do not want that. You want the bulk of the runner sticking out towards the front of the barrow for proper alignment. Now let's go ahead and insert the runners on the base of the legs here. You've got 2 bolts. You're going to insert the bolts into the runners and then through the base of the legs, and then turn the legs on their side so you can access the bolts from the opposite side. Remember, we've got a flat washer that goes on first, and then the lock washer, and then the bolt. So you now have the runners securely fastened to the legs, and when you stand them upright, it's going to look like this. Now we are ready to attach the legs to the main frame. And in order to do this, you're going to have 16 bolts. You heard me, 16 of them that come in the toolkit here. And each bolt's going to have a lock washer and a flat washer. And they're going to be assembled just like this. And I like to pre-assemble these so they're ready to go. This part of the installation takes a little bit of elbow grease because there's a lot of bolts and there's some positioning of the legs. But go ahead and flip the main frame over and then flip the legs over, and you're now in an excellent position to secure all 8 bolts. Make sure you just snug these down. Don't tighten them all the way until you have all 8 bolts in, because there's some alignment issues. And then go ahead, once you've got them in position, snug them down with the Allen wrench. And look at this sucker. It is starting to take shape, folks. So we're going to flip it back on its runners, and let's install the handlebars now. And we'll get a little bling going here. You've got different screws for each handle. Remember, each handlebar has a bolt. The top one's going to have a long bolt. The lower ones are going to have a shorter bolt. So we're going to use the long bolt on the top, and you've got a lock washer and a flat washer. Remember that orientation on every bolt assembly here. And then once we get the handlebar started, we're going to use that Allen wrench and snug everything down. Once you've got it snug, again, these are the handlebars. They're going to have a lot of action, so you want that sucker to be tight, so put a little bit of mojo into it. Now we're going to install the lower handlebar grips, and again, you've got that lock washer, then the flat washer, and we're going to secure the lower handlebar grip in the same fashion. Snug it down. Once you get close, use that Allen head and then again, put some elbow grease into that. And now we are turning the page literally and getting ready to install the wheels. This is going to help the barrel start to take shape. And on the wheels we have 2 bolts. They're short bolts, they're going to have a lock washer, and they're going to have a very large flat washer. In fact, it's the largest flat washer in the assembly kit. And remember, you got to have that lock washer as well. So get the wheel on, then you're going to insert the bolt. Remember, with that very large flat washer, that flat washer keeps the wheel on there. So you got to have the large flat washer and then secure everything down. The wheel should spin freely once you've got it installed. Now we're going to look at installing the weight horns. And these have 4 screws or 4 bolts that have a tapered head. Notice that tapered head, and that allows them to lie flush on that mounting bracket, and it makes it look really slick. So get your 4 bolts assembled on there, and then snug them down with the Allen key, and make sure they are very tight because you're going to be lifting lots of weights here. Now let's put some serious bling on here. Escape's going to love this part of the video. We've got some branding here. So we've got 4 small bolts, and you've got a little lock washer and a flat washer, and those are going to go right in the upper edges or the outer edges of this branding logo. And folks, we're coming down the home stretch because we are now going to install the lower valance. There's 2 parts to this lower valance, and there's a lower part and an upper part, and those have to be assembled together first before we put the entire thing on the main frame. Then you're going to secure the nuts to the bolts from the back side. I like to trap the 2 valances down together, and that gives you a little bit more access to the back side. This takes you a second to figure out, but once you figure it out, you're going to tighten these down, make sure they're locked into position, and now we are ready to put the valance onto the main frame. In order to do this, it's a little tricky in its current position, so I like to flip the unit on its butt end, and then it gives you more access to the front side. And again, you tighten up these 3 bolts, and then you're going to install the 2 largest bolts in the entire toolkit on the top part of this valance to lock that thing down. And guess what, folks? You are ready to load this sucker up and engage in some barrow pushes, some barrow drags, and some barrow carries. Congratulations, you've successfully assembled your barrow now. And thanks for joining me. This was a great process for me because I got to get my hands on this product again. Listen, I've been doing this for multiple years. I've launched several products in the fitness industry, and the durability, the craftsmanship, the quality of manufacturing on this product are second to none. So kudos to you, Escape, for manufacturing a product at such a high level, and kudos to you for recognizing it and buying your Escape Barrow. Until next time, get after it, everybody.